Hey everybody, it's Tanya here of Get Noticed with Video, and this is our Let's Go Live show that we do every week. So we've been doing it on Thursdays, and for now, we're not just quite yet changing, but we will soon be changing and moving to a Monday or Tuesday schedule. I'm still struggling with a couple of things, but we'll figure that out and get that message to you. But for now, I just want to welcome you and thank you for being here and watching live. Now, if you're watching the replay, then you can just go ahead and type in the comments hashtag replay so that I can make sure to come back and take a look at your comments and your questions and get those answered for you. Let me check in and just see who's here with me. Hello. Good to see you, Michelle. Awesome sauce. Tonight, I'm going to answer this question for you. The question is, should I do live or should I do pre-recorded videos? Is there a choice that I need to make in my business strategy? And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the pros. I don't know that there really is a con to it, so I won't even say pros and cons, but we'll talk about advantages of incorporating both types of video content into your marketing strategy for social media. So I'm going to go ahead and share my little quick introduction video, and then I'll be right back. We're going to give people a chance to get on live with us. Please be sure to say hello. There's one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Miss Marie Zimenoff. And then I have someone who I cannot see, Facebook user. So if you're in my group right now and you haven't yet given permission to StreamYard to show your Facebook profile, just make sure you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give them permission, and then you'll be able to showcase your hello. Hey, Miss Jackie. All right, guys, I will be right back. We'll do our short intro video, and then I will return and we'll talk about the advantages of pre-recorded and live video. Both of them are really, really positive, I would think, for your video content strategy. All right, be right back. All right, guys, it is me again, Tanya Smith here with Get Noticed with Video. And in case this is your first time watching us, just know that you have a chance to go back and take a look at our entire library on both YouTube as well as here on Facebook. If you're joining me on Facebook, that's where I interact the most. But you also have a chance to interact with me on YouTube Live as well as on Twitch and on Twitter via Periscope. So wherever you are, if you want to leave a comment and tell me hello, then I would love to say hello back. Hello, hello, good to see you. And there's Rachel. Good to see you, girl. And Miss Pat, always a pleasure to have you on live. Thank you so much for joining. And if you do have questions or comments as we talk about tonight's topic, then feel free to go ahead and add those comments or questions here. This is interactive, so I really enjoy interacting with you and kind of getting your thoughts and your opinions and your resources, because other people need to know what you know when it comes to sharing resources around video strategy. What I do is I try to deliver these live streams every week to teach you something that will help you to simplify the way in which you're using video, especially on-camera video for your business. So tonight we're going to talk about the topic or the idea of live video versus pre-recorded. And so that is going to be the focus. Which one should I do, pre-recorded or live? So I'd love to hear from you. Which one do you prefer to use right now in your own current strategy? Are you using more pre-recorded or are you using live? Just write in the comments and let me know which one you're using. And if you're using both, just say both. Because I would tell you that it probably has been, I don't know, for the last year or so, I've really focused more on live video. And there's a couple of different reasons why. But recently, I reminded myself, and I heard from a couple of my really good colleagues and friends, that it's probably time to make sure that I don't forget to go back to the roots of where things started for me with video. And I think that this will be helpful for you too, to hear some of the reasons why it's really important to include both kinds. So let me see. I think someone put a comment here, pre-recorded because I can control or work it more into my schedule. Yes. So Rachel, that absolutely is one of the reasons why pre-recorded tends to be an advantage. So what I did is I put together a little list for us so that we can stay on track, because we try to keep these brief. Sometimes I can go off off topic, but not too far. Jackie says live. Okay. Yep. And my passion really is more for the live because I love interacting. I love the engagement that we can get with each other and having these conversations. So I'm going to share with you really quickly here a quick chart that I put together. Let me make sure that it shows up. There we go. So let's compare. Let's compare the two because there really are pros for both. And like I said earlier, I don't know that there's a con necessarily. I don't know that there's a disadvantage to using one over the other, but each of them are useful for different reasons. And so Pat mentioned, let's see, I've been practicing pre-recording videos. I think I'm more comfortable with that. Yeah, I think that a lot of it has to do with what you're most comfortable doing. How do you feel about doing live versus pre-recorded? So definitely your comfort level is going to come into play, right? So here's a couple of things that I wrote down in terms of notes. So live video, the pros are that you get to engage with people. So as I mentioned, the whole interaction with you, where I get to see you and acknowledge you and, acknowledge that you're here and that I care about what you comment on and I'm answering questions. I love the energy that live video can bring. It gives me a lift, even as introverted as I am. It gives me a lift to know that I'm sharing something of value and that I'm getting that instant gratification and reward by hearing your reactions and seeing your reactions back. So engaging with people who really care, viewers are more likely to invest with you more quickly when you're doing live. Part of the reason is because they see that authenticity of live, right? They see that, because here's the difference. When you're doing a live video, unlike a pre-recorded video, your live video truly is going to have all the bumps and bruises, right? It's kind of like you without the makeup. It's like you without the hair being done. It's raw because you've got the dogs barking in the background, you've got the doorbell ringing, you've got people, coughing or whatever it might be. You've got all of that going on. And so people really see you as a true person. It's very transparent. And so there is a difference with that. But on the other hand, a pre-recorded video can be much more polished, much more professional. It gives you well, let's look at the chart. It gives you a lot of things that you may not necessarily get with your live. So as I mentioned, live typically means that it's going to be a little easier for you to engage with people, and the viewers that constantly come back, especially if you have a regular series, are going to be more likely to invest in your products, programs, and services. The other pro that I see with live is that not everybody's doing it. So it does give you an opportunity to kind of boost your brand in that it is something that you can stand out with fairly easily. A lot of people are doing video these days, but there are a certain few that are doing live streaming and that are doing it in a confident way and in a consistent way, right? And that's what I teach my clients to do, is to be confident and to be more consistent when it comes to video. It takes a whole lot less time to create. So for me to actually put together the entire workflow that I use for doing my weekly live streams, it is definitely, I probably cut the time in half of when I am actually doing pre-recorded series where I have to have production done and take out mistakes and all of that other stuff. This is super easy to do because I can jump on camera since I have my setup already ready to go every week, same time, same bat channel. So it takes less time to create and prepare. And then finally, you get that real time engagement because people are literally on the call, on the video at the same time as you're, demonstrating and talking through everything that you're talking through. So everything I'm sharing right now, I'm sharing in real time. So I've got people from various audiences that are watching that may be asking questions, and I can respond to those right now, not later on. So again, it gives you that win and that instant gratification, but also the audience members. But let's talk about pre-recorded. And I see your note too. Michelle, I know you do both. You really need an audience for live where there's still no engagement anyway. Here's what I would tell you is that when I first started doing lives, the first several lives that I did, I had zero engagement. Hardly anybody showed up. And what I committed to myself to doing, and I've told many of you this story before, but I said last year, I'm going to go live for an entire year and just see what it does for my business. And what I committed to doing is going on live no matter what. It didn't matter if I had crickets chirping in the audience, if nobody was there, I still would put on my best show, my best face. And yeah, the difference there was that I didn't have the opportunity while I was on camera to actually speak and interact with people because the people weren't there. But eventually the people came because I was consistent. I was always like clockwork at the same time on the same channel, talking about a piece of content or something that was relevant to the audience that I serve. Now, pre-recorded has a lot of pros and benefits too. So pre-recorded videos, you can edit them so that they really are high quality content. They're professional. They look exactly like you want them to. So someone mentioned control. I think it was Michelle, or maybe it was someone else earlier. The control that you have over your pre-recorded videos is definitely high and above what you get with your live videos, where you're making mistakes and you might get a little nervous, or, oh my God, I don't feel good today, but I'm still on. All of those things can be controlled a little bit better when you're doing pre-recorded because you can plan ahead. So you can, what a lot of people do, especially with YouTube videos, is they bundle record. And that's one of the things I'm working on right now because I'm getting ready to deliver a brand new series about how to do Facebook Lives. Yes, to Michelle's point, it usually is 2 to 3 takes. So yeah, it can take more than that even if you're just starting out and trying to figure your way around your pre-recorded videos. But your audience can watch on their own time. You can dress up the video. You can add all kinds of funky little pop-ups and other types of annotations and other things that you may not be able to add if you're doing a simple live stream. It can cut down on your nerves. So to Pat's point about nerves or having the confidence and the comfort level, definitely if you're doing pre-recorded, you can literally have a script, right, that is loaded into your computer or loaded on your phone, and you can kind of scan through that and get it right so that you're not going off topic or you're not saying something that maybe you didn't intend to say. It's all prepared and planned ahead. I like Rachel's note that she's exploring a happy medium. So using premieres on YouTube. Absolutely. So you can actually pre-record and then you can actually schedule your video to go out on YouTube as though, hey, this is in a live format and I'm able to interact, but it's pre-scheduled and it really was pre-recorded. The other thing that you can do in terms of pre-recording and scheduling your lives is if you use Restream.io. I always have to say Restreamio. Restream.io is a tool that is similar now because there's some features we talked about last week, but it can be similar to StreamYard. Restreamio has a scheduler that allows you to pre-record videos and then upload them and they go live at a specific time that you indicate. So best of both worlds, right? The only difference again is that for me, doing a true live means that I'm really interacting with your comments and engaging with you at that time. So you can hear me saying, hey, let me acknowledge that Rachel left a comment. Let me acknowledge that Pat is here. Let me acknowledge that Jackie and Marie and whoever else may be in the audience is here and live with me. So I do love the benefits of live engagement, but I think that there is something to be said for having a set of pre-recorded videos that people can watch and really engage with. So definitely some benefits to doing both. I have another slide that I'll kind of walk us through as well that talks about the best way to use each of them. But yes, you're welcome. Yes. So premieres, Restreamio with the scheduler, there are other tools as well that allow you to basically record your video and then upload it as though it's live. The key to me, the most important thing to think about as you're doing that, if you're taking that approach, is to make sure that people don't fool anyone. Let me say that, because I see a lot. For instance, I'm working with a couple of people right now on webinars and setting up their webinar strategy, because that relates to video too and on camera content. And so in setting those up, what I often hear initially is, well, you know what? I just want to record it once and then I want it to be automated. I want people to come and watch it multiple times whenever they want to, which is great. What you don't want to do, because I've seen some people do this, and so I always caution against it, but never pretend that a pre-recorded webinar is a live webinar, because you can get caught and then that chips away at your credibility. Now, there are tools, and a tool that I use is called Big Marker for webinars. There are tools that allow you to portray or to have an evergreen automated system where you're displaying content on your webinar and your training is going live, and it looks like people are still chatting and communicating back and forth. And when you do that, you can certainly let people know, hey, this is a pre-recorded video. I am, however, receiving comments and questions in real time. So if there's anything that you want to know about while you're watching and participating, simply go ahead and put it in the Q&A box and I'll make sure you get a response. Now, does that mean if somebody's watching it at midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to get up because I hear a beep and answer? Probably not. But it is about setting expectations and letting people know that, hey, put your questions in there. And even though I may not be physically present, I will get back to you. So just think about those things as you're kind of considering what's best for you in terms of pre-recorded versus live, because there's a lot of considerations to take into account, I think. But the most important is that you need to be authentic and honest with your audience so that they know what to expect. Okay, let's pop up or talk a little bit about the best ways to use. And if you have a best way, if there's a best practice for you in how you're currently using either pre-recorded or live or both, definitely share that in the comments, because again, people are paying attention. They're getting ideas from each one of us, not just from me because I'm the talking head, but from you too, and from your comments that are here inside this community. And if you're a part of my group over at Get Noticed VIPs, then definitely we'll be circling back and talking some more about this particular topic very soon. All right, so the best ways to use live versus pre-recorded. So I would suggest, and these are just the ways that I've seen and that I've used them, but definitely, again, share in the comments if you have some different thoughts or if you have a specific way that's worked for you. Live video, I love if I'm doing Q&A sessions, because the Q&A, the questions that are being asked, when people can get that instant answer, when people can get something immediate that they can take action on, then that's always a win. And it gives them more of an incentive to want to proactively follow up with you and continue to work with you even more, right? Because you've given them value in that moment when they needed it the most. Interviews is another option for live videos, although I know a lot of people do the pre-recorded hybrid, meaning what they'll do is they will pre-record the video interview, and then at a certain time, they'll deliver that video through a summit or a conference platform, or maybe even inside of their group. So either way is a win. I don't think there's a negative to doing it whatever way you feel most comfortable with. I would say that interviews that are done in that way with a pre-recorded and then posted later give you, as the facilitator of that program or conference, the ability to be able to go in and edit, take control, all those things that we talked about previously. It gives you a little bit more flexibility for you to make it look a certain way. Maybe you have your intro sound coming in, and maybe you have an outro, or you have some type of editing that you've done to make it polished. I personally like the live video interview simply because, for me, again, it's about that energy. And when I know that I can offer people that instant and immediate solution to whatever they're looking for or asking about at the time, I think that that is very powerful. And I think it's powerful for my guests presenters to be able to engage as well and interact with a real audience. So it's just a matter of choice and preference. Whatever you choose, you have options. And that's what I wanted to talk about and kind of share with you to think through. Unboxing videos are great for live videos. So I know I have a couple of people who are watching and joining right now that are in the health and wellness industry. And so you may have different types of wellness products or skincare products or natural supplements or whatever it may be. Or maybe you have some type of product that is not even in that realm, but it's a product that people can tangibly see. If that is the case, unboxing videos are awesome live because you get a chance to really kind of excuse me, open up the box, show your reaction in the moment of what you're experiencing as you're opening that new product or checking out whatever that tool or app or device may be. And you're getting reaction while you're giving and showing your own reaction and getting those questions in real time. But again, pre-recorded can do the same with unboxing, just on a different level. You'll just get the questions later. Now, pre-recorded, I typically will use for courses. So when I do online courses, although I will say this, one of the things that I'm finding is definitely much more, I'll say it's more preferred with the folks that I work with, is the ability to have live interaction. So while in the past I have definitely used more pre-recorded versions of video, I am finding that I want to do more of a mix, right? So maybe have some on-demand lessons, but then also integrate within the program or the course the opportunity to have a live webinar or live meeting where we all as a community are talking about the course material that they went to. Yes, Stacy is using that for her course. Yeah, and what I'm finding is that the platforms that are out there are listening to us. I was actually on a call today listening to New Zenler. That's the platform that I use for my courses and my training right now. They are adding a feature to be able to let you do live webinars inside of the course platform. I know Podia also introduced something within the past week or so. They introduced something where you can do live webinars from inside of the course platform. That's because I think that they're seeing that there is value in having that combination 1-2 punch, that combination of having the on-demand videos that people can go and get at their convenience, but also the ability to be able to engage and interact with a real person, not just a talking head who took money from you, is speaking at you and not answering your questions, right? So having that combination, I think, is awesome. And Stacy, yeah, if you're doing that, to me, I think that's going to be the way to go. That's the path forward. Vlogging also is another way for pre-recorded videos. So when you're doing video blogs, you can have what they call the A roll and the B roll. The B roll is like where you have, let's say you were filming something about a conference, right? And so before the conference, as everybody's getting ready, you kind of have a little bit of film that's showing people getting ready. They're at the tables, they're setting up. And then maybe you scan over to some people who are giving, short testimonials, and then you bring the camera back to the main content that you're going to talk about in terms of the conference. All of that you can do with a video blog or a vlog. If you're talking about life experiences and you're traveling or you're cooking and there's a hobby that you talk about every day and you get on YouTube, right? Or maybe even Facebook Live and share a little bit about your life and that piece of what's going on with you, then pre-recording that can absolutely be wonderful because, again, you have the control over the editing of that. Explainer videos are also another excellent way to do pre-recorded videos where you're doing a demonstration of something. So to give you an example, when I used to do the Click of the Week, it was a YouTube series that I would do where I would video myself doing a demo, a demonstration of different tools and apps that I would find online. That's always been like one of my favorite things to do. And so I would screen share and kind of walk through some of the ins and outs of these tools as I was testing them out. So that can be an explainer video, or maybe you're explaining something step by step, a process or a procedure, or you're showing people, walking people through a mind map or a flow chart, whatever it might be, but you're explaining something. You're giving people from point A, here's where you are at point A, and here's how you get to point D, and here's all the steps in between. Doing that with pre-recorded videos can also be super powerful. So these are just some ways, some ideas that I have, and you're more than welcome to share your own ideas as well in the comments. We've been talking today about the topic of pre-recorded or live videos. Which one is right for me? Which one is right for you? So I'm curious to know, based on what we've talked about and what I've shared, have you changed your mind? Did you come in and just say, oh, I just want to do live videos, but let me hear what she has to say? Is there anything that kind of stood out for you? Was there a golden nugget in something that we just talked about? Or do you have a question? Because if you have a question, I want you to share that and get your questions answered. Let me recap a little bit, and I'll be watching for any comments or questions. The recap basically is that you have the opportunity to really benefit from both. And if you can find a way to do both or use both in your marketing strategy, that is key. I think that it's more than ever, any type of video content that you're creating right now can be amazing for attracting new business. It's also a way that we're all having to communicate, being that we're all remote right now and virtual and apart. So I think that the more you can leverage video and the more that you can find creative ways to do that in your marketing, the better. Not only for you from a monetary standpoint, but also the better because it helps us all to get connected and to build relationships that are stronger, right? And to nurture each other through the services that we provide and offer. I will share with you that there's no reason you can't do both videos. And if you need help with that and you're struggling a little bit, feel free to reach out. Go to my website at getnoticedwithvideo.com because I have resources there. I'm also going to be delivering or offering something very soon. I have yet to talk about it, but it is on my website, but unlimited laser coaching. So we'll talk a little bit more about that next week, and I'll do more of a promo for that. But if you want to know a little bit about what that will do, feel free to go to the website at getnoticedwithvideo.com, set up a discovery call with me if you want to know a little bit more about how I work. And I love to do those. I've had a couple of people that have reached out that say, what are your prices and what do you do? And what I've tried to steer them gently towards is to doing a discovery call so that you and I can both be in agreement that we're a good match, because not everybody's meant for everybody. We know this, right? All right. So Victoria says, I'm convinced that I have to go live so I can build a rapport with folks, but both are good though. I think that live streaming for me has really grown my business. And Victoria, you know, because you have been with me for some time and have kind of seen that transformation. And I could see for you as well that using more live in your strategy is going to be super helpful because you come off on the camera with such vibrance. And I think that people will just love interacting with you. So yeah, you know you got to do this. And let's see, I'm leaning now towards doing live based on what I want to do. I don't think I can get around it. Got to do it scared. So I will definitely tell you that sometimes, a lot of times, I still have butterflies when I do lives, and you probably will too for some time. That is one of the reasons I'm actually working on completing a confidence coaching certification, because I think that that's a huge part of some of the reasons why we don't do more on-camera video. So I want to be able to offer people uniquely a different perspective on how to do video, not just the tactical, because I can give you that all day long and give you all the technical stuff and tell you what tools to buy. But I also want you to be prepared on a mental level to be committed to doing more consistent videos if this is something that's right for you. And so whether it's pre-recorded or it's live, the key is having your face, your authentic beauty, you on camera, connecting with other people who need you. They need your voice. They need to hear you. They need to know what you do. They need to get the solutions that you provide, and only you can provide in the way you provide them, because we're all unique beings and our brands are all about us being differentiated from other people who may do something similar, but they do it in a different way. Only you can give the message and do the things that you do in the way you do it. I think video is prime for helping you to showcase that. So, live or pre-recorded. Yes, I definitely can see the importance of both now, Jackie. Yes, yes, yes. And then Rachel said, yes, Pat, do it scared, girl. You know how we say, don't be scared, go ahead and be scared and still do it anyway. All right. Yes, thank you so much for all these comments and for showing me that I think I'm on the right path here with this combo. And I think you would be too if you look for ways to incorporate both into your strategy. I definitely will be honest and say that pre-recording right now, as I'm working through the series that I'm creating, it definitely can be time consuming. So I am going to be looking for more ways and approaches to bundling the videos that we do so that I could do, for instance, when I say that, I mean, take a Sunday afternoon and take 2 or 3 hours and just knock out 5 or 6 videos at one time. That to me is definitely more time and cost efficient than simply trying to make sure that you get on every day, because we just won't feel like getting on every day. I mean, I don't. I know some people do. Misty does. Misty gets on every day like clockwork, and it has really helped her to grow her audience. I am not that person. I can't get on every day, but I love the regularity of having a timeline when I know I'm going to be on at least once a week. All righty, folks. Thank you for your comments, and I hope that you have taken something away that you can use. If you do have questions and I missed them, then I will come back and make sure that I respond and reply. I appreciate you as always joining in. Let's see. I appreciate you as always joining in. Marcia, yes, a combination of the two could provide an easier entrance to being more visible. I totally agree. I think it's the magic formula for video, is doing both. So I will see you all next week, and I'll be sharing more information about a couple of things. We have our on-camera confidence program that's coming up May 2nd. So I'm going to be talking more about that. That is going to be our live version. We used to do a 5-day challenge. Now we're going to do a live version in 90 minutes. So I'm excited about that. We have the series that I mentioned. We have unlimited laser coaching, private coaching that I'm making available to a very limited number of people now through the month of May. And then we have webinars, some on-demand webinars that you can go and see as well. So all of that you can find on my website at getnoticedwithvideo.com. If you would like to get reminders to your messenger or on your text, so in your cell phone, just type remind me in the comments. I think I set this up right, but type remind me in the comments, and you should, if you're in Facebook, receive a messenger message from me on how to do that. All right. Take care, everybody, and have a blessed Easter. If you're celebrating as we are, then I hope you have a blessed Good Friday. I hope that you enjoy your Easter, and I will be talking with you after that. All right. Take care.